This meeting of the Eureka Springs City Council now come to order. Ms. Clerk, would you establish a quorum, please?
Ken Pownell.
I'm here.
Lenny Balance.
I'm here.
Dean Kirkpatrick.
Here.
James DeVito.
Here.
Parker Raphael.
Here.
Butch Berry.
Here.
All right, everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. I have two items to put on the agenda that I sent you an email last night, and I sent you, put copies in your box in reference to the proposed Walmart store. This will be the right to inspect and enter agreement, and a copy of the permanent sanitary sewer easement and temporary construction easement agreement. My understanding is there's supposed to be 2 or 3 representatives here from Walmart to speak on this matter. So I want to put that on the agenda. Under new business, let's put it, Beverly's here to talk on multifamily. Let's put it second after multi.
This is something people might want to weigh in on, so maybe it should be on the next agenda.
Go. Again, I'm putting it on this agenda so y'all can do what you want to with it.
So
Okay,
it's
well,
number 2 under new business?
Number 2 under new. Any further?
3 items to add.
Okay.
First one is, these are all ones that were left off the agenda and unfinished business from past meetings. Discussion of the operations manual for finance, new accounting software, and the police hiring, and discussion of the personnel manual.
Which one do you want where?
Under unfinished, 7, 8, and
No.
9.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I think those were deferred until our budget, until we had the finance director. That was in the minutes, I believe.
That's what I
Said the
understood.
next meeting.
I had budget, I think it was in the minutes of the budget, mid-year budget.
I got it right here.
They're there.
Discussion of the operations manual was deferred until the first meeting in August. Discussion of the new accounting software, 4th of August. And the other one was just dropped.
Under the last minutes, number 4, Ms. Balance addressed several items in this operation manual. Mr. Purnell made a motion to defer this to the new finance director for the first meeting in August. Ms. Balance seconds. Okay, so you're right. But however, we still don't have a new finance director.
No, we're still doing that.
I'd still like to see him back on the agenda.
Okay. And they're unfinished. So this will be number 8.
7, 8, and 9.
Please repeat them so we can add them.
Number 7 was the Municipal Code 2.36.04 Operations Manual for Finance. Number 8, new accounting software. Number 9, police/hiring discussion of personnel manual. And the last one is, I don't have the paperwork, but I just want to clarify, that's why I'm putting it on the agenda, the donation of the vehicle to the Carroll County Airport.
Okay, 7 is the operation manual. Number 8 is the finance. And number 9 is the police matter, personnel matter. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you add another one, number 10, the Tahoe?
Just clarification of the Tahoe gift.
Okay.
I see employee handbook goals workshop. But, okay.
I understood the employee handbook did go to a workshop. I think I watched the meeting today, and I believe that's what was stated. But whatever it reflects in the minutes is what we have to go by. Let's see. See, I didn't see it in the minutes. To goals workshop, Ms. Balance moved to add 2.4801 police department personnel to the goals workshop on July 28th. Mr. Pownell seconded, carried 5-0.
Is that what you see?
That's what's in the minutes.
That's what the video said today. I finally got to watch it.
Oh, it's,
The personnel manual part? New accounting, are we waiting for the new finance director? New accounting program?
point of procedure. It disappeared off the agenda. All I'm trying to do is get it back on the agenda so we can either postpone it again or it's going to disappear into the deep dark holes. Not that there's even necessarily anything to discuss tonight, but it was on the agenda.
Okay, number 7 under unfinished business is the operation manual finance. You want to postpone again until next meeting? Is that correct? Okay. Any others? So that leaves number 8, 9, and 10, with number 7 postponed. Any further? Mr. Berry.
Mr. Mayor, I got a phone call from Ms. Grinnell, asked if we would defer the vacation of Paulo Pinto until September. She had a death in the family and is unable to be here tonight.
To September the 1st?
I'm assuming that would be okay.
To September the 1st?
First meeting in September, whatever
Okay.
that is.
Okay, first meeting. Okay. Any others? Can I make sure I got everybody here? All right, if there's no other additions, changes, or deletions, motion to accept the agenda is approved. Doc, second?
Second.
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for July 21st, 2011. Move to discuss.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. Floor is open. Mr. Pano.
Page 6, the date of the meeting says June 2nd. If we're referring to the meeting, it should be July 21st.
Thank you.
Any others? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Minutes are approved. This will be Commission Committee Authority reports. Ms. Blankenship is here. Or you want to talk now on anything but the multi-dwelling? Do you have any comments on planning? Okay, come on up.
Hello, I'm bringing you information from the Planning Commission. First, I wanted to say something about the backflow valves. That was sent to the Planning Commission from the mayor, and we did work diligently on it. It was a lot less strenuous when we brought it back to this table, and it's my understanding that you said that Public Works will just you asked Public Works to put procedures and policies in place. This table really doesn't have authority to ask Public Works to put procedures and policies. So if it was the goal at the Planning Commission to try to protect homeowners and their homes, I just ask you, do you think that you protected anybody by sending that back to Public Works? But I do have hopes that the mayor will stay on that and get Public Works to put procedures and policies in place to get that done. The digital and electronic signs has been taken off of your agenda, but you do still have that to work on. The Planning Commission also worked on non-conforming signs, which is billboards, and we did have a public hearing on it. If you wouldn't mind to pass these out to maybe put on a next agenda or the next one. We do feel like some of the laws need to be strengthened about that, and we've gone through all the procedures. Something is going on with the whole entire sign ordinance, and Mr. Pawnell and Mr. Leswick are working together to try to figure out what happened in the codification and what we need to do to get that rectified. And soon as that's done, then these other seems like small and minor things, but there were people in City Hall today trying to sell LED billboards. So it's not just a minor thing unless that's what you want in your town. We need to protect our city from this new technology that's trying to come in. And so these are things that need to be taken care of. I haven't found exactly when Mr. Gropner came to this table and asked for the moratorium on the digital and electronic signs, but he told me he thought it was in January or February, and you told me that it was a 6-month moratorium. So that's probably coming up, but I can't put my hands on the records just at this moment. I don't know if I was seated at the Planning Commission at that time, or maybe I was just seated. So we are looking into that. So just be aware that is something that can't just be dropped. We're going to have to stay on that sign ordinance and get that fixed. Also, the Planning Commission would like from this table a little more direction and help, because what we've been doing is trying to look into the future, look into new technologies that's coming, look at our code that we have that planning's responsible for, and see where it needs to be updated or changed. Those are small little entities that we're doing. A lot of people ask me, when are the sewer lines going to get put in? What's the plan for this? What's the plan for that? Well, it seems right that you would go to planning for the overall plan, but we'll have to have direction and maybe a workshop and understanding from this table what that looks like and how we do that, because Public Works has all the information about the sewer lines and what's good and what ADEQ has told them needs to be done. And I could go to the finance department and have the budget and see what's in there, and we could, if we had all the pieces, we could put something together. If that's what you want us to work on, we'll do that. But for us on our own to go to Public Works and ask for a lot of information, without help in getting that ball rolling. I don't see how we could do that. The last thing I wanted to tell you is the domestic fowl ordinance that you're, this is going to be the third reading tonight, which is fine. However, when I first brought that months ago, it was under the understanding if that domestic fowl ordinance got passed, it's going to make its own section in code. Then the section in code now that says other animals, the parts that say fowl would have to be taken out. And we talked about it, and your city attorney told you it would be best if you did it in two separate ordinances. Well, you did one, but you never got the other one done. And it's small, but it's never been done. I thought that you directed your city attorney to do it, but I've not seen anything on that. It's not a major thing, but you're going to have a section already on fowl. Then you don't want to go to the next section and it says something about fowl, keeping your fowl. So if you want to pass these out, these are the things that need to be done, but I can't direct your city attorney to do that. And we're also working on handicap parking spaces. Our handicap parking, the fines are like $50 if you park in a handicap space. And the state code is a lot more stringent than that. And so we're working to help our handicapped citizens have places to park. And we're going to be bringing that to the table pretty soon. Any questions? Okay.
Any questions? Mr. Powell?
Well, normally we can't question during commissioner reports. Can it wait until the foul ordinance discussion, or are you leaving?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was a little dismayed in reading the Citizen in regards to council gutting the foul ordinance. I thought we only made 2 minor changes, other than what the chair had given us, the 3 different dates and the clean. And then I believe the city attorney made 2 recommendations before we did the second reading because they were minor. And it just makes it look like that we're trying to tear apart everything that the Planning Commission is doing. And I know I've sat on the other side of the table, and I sure didn't believe anyway that we have sat here and torn 2 years worth of work away that the Planning Commission has done on the foul ordinance.
Mr. Navina?
That's poetic license with the newspaper. Chickens gutting. We live in chicken country where chickens are gutted every 2 seconds.
I was going to say it was a slow week for news, and they picked up anything that they could. Those meetings are run very professionally, but everybody gets their say, just like at the end of this meeting. That was the most interesting part of it, so that's what the newspaper ran with.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Blankenship, if I may, Mr.
Mr.
Mayor. Regarding the sign ordinance, if I remember right, didn't you give us a proposed digital sign ordinance?
Yes,
On there?
and all it says is to add the words digital or electronic
Right.
signs under prohibited.
And I think,
and you
but I
do
may be completely wrong, we decided to wait maybe until we got the other sign ordinance. I don't know. Maybe
No, there's something wrong with our sign ordinances. The numbering and the way that it was codified, they can't go from ordinance to ordinance and make it work something. So Mr. Leswick and Mr. Ponnell are working to rectify that, and I believe pretty soon that they will bring us a list of changes that need to be made. And I don't know if this table will just make that as a resolution and get those changes done because they're clerical errors or exactly what's going to happen, because I really don't know all about that.
Well, I appreciate you bringing up to our memory again about the digital sign and see if we can't get that on the agenda, because it is important.
Thank you. All right. Under planning, let's see. I think that's all we have, except for Mrs. Flaherty's nomination that was posted last time or presented last regular meeting. Calls for the vote on it today. Denys Flaherty.
I move to.
Does anybody know Miss Flaherty? She's sitting right here.
I'd like to move to approve Ms. Flaherty nomination onto the Planning Commission for position 7.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Flaherty, welcome. You all right? All right. Under CAPC, I have a letter from the commission stating that the position at large, position number 7, was filled by Charles C. Ragsdale. I believe he ran our blues festival this year, and it turned out pretty good. So they say he's a welcome addition to the crew. And that one I don't think we vote on.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we vote on it.
You vote
I
on
haven't
that
seen
one?
an application.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, we do vote on it. The nomination, as per the CAPC enabling legislation, is a recommendation from the commission.
Okay.
And the commission's recommendation for the at-large position is Charles Ragsdale.
Okay. I don't have an application for him. It's still downstairs. I thought they did that on their own since he was, Miss Alexander was there less than a year. They picked him.
It's a different position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have the other commissioners received his application? Nope. I'm seeing a yes here, a no,
No.
a no, and a no. We need to get that application in their boxes.
Okay. We'll make sure you get those. If you want to postpone this.
Well, let's
until
say
next
this
meeting.
is the nomination tonight,
Okay.
and then in 2 weeks we'll vote.
Any further discussion? Okay. All right. Under parks, I'm not going to nominate anybody tonight until I find out what you guys are going to do with this ordinance. Under HDC, we don't have any applications. Cemetery, I don't think we have any openings. Under hospital, the application for nomination today, Mr. Robert Walling. This comes from one of the hospital commission members. He is applying for position number 7. You should have a copy of this one. Motion to discuss? You're just going to accept the nomination? Go on.
Have to wait 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. That's the last thing I have under, Mr. Pino.
Clarification, since we're still in hospital reports, according to their report, they had, unless I read the way it was typed wrong, they had 3 resignations.
The only one I know of is Miss Schwartz, Ms. Schwartz.
Maybe I need to learn how to read. The last sentence in their report that was emailed says, no meeting in June, lack of quorum, Pam Crockett, Dr. Jack Pritchard, OOT, comma, Enid Schwartz resigned.
They probably just weren't there. I know Enid resigned. That's the only one I've been made aware of.
Okay.
And that's why we're nominating this person. Any further questions on committees and reports? If not, then we have public comments. And we have one person on public comments, Joe Evans from MWAEPF. Hi, come on up to the mic. Goodbye. I'm not the littlest person trying to get around.
Good evening. My name is Joe Evans, and I represent the Northwest Arkansas Emergency Preparedness Fair. And I have some flyers here that can be passed around the table, Mayor,
Okay, thank you.
and also here in the corner. This is the 5th year for the Northwest Arkansas Emergency Preparedness Fair. Preparedness-minded businesses, government agencies, and community organizations will gather again for the 5th annual Preparedness Fair on Saturday, August 27th, 2011. This is printed on the back of your flyer. To better prepare the entire Northwest Arkansas community for emergencies of all kinds, whether it's a Joplin-sized tornado or a personal financial crisis. The free fair, which has been scheduled to kick off National Preparedness Month in September, will go from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints at 1101 McCollum Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. This is on the, just before as you're going south, the exit to go on Central Avenue. There's a big red brick church with a white steeple right on 540, and that's where it's located. Please come join with thousands of Northwest Arkansas residents to learn how you can prepare for just about any kind of an emergency. Free admission, free lunch, free disaster starter kits, free child ID kits, and free door prizes. The Red Cross biggest blood drive of the year is held starting Friday at noon on the 26th and ends late in the afternoon when they run out of donors on Saturday. Calling your attention to the front of it, there are door prizes and giveaways, kids area and child IDs, as I mentioned, emergency vehicles of all kinds, and walk-in blood drive. Well, I'm here because I want to invite all of you in your community to please come and join us. We strive every year asking each other the kinds of questions. What might be an emergency? What might be a disaster in our lives or in our community? And then we work very hard. We start in January, actually, to find an expert in that area, whether it's FEMA, whether it's Homeland Security, whether it's the fireman down the street, whether it's a banker, whatever is needed or might be needed in any kind of a personal or community emergency. It's my job to make sure that all the communities in Northwest Arkansas know about this event, and hopefully you'll bring your families and join us that day. Do you have any questions or?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's some of your extras back.
Okay, and here are some signs for stand-up counters and some half-sheet black and whites. And
okay.
if you have some interest and you need to make more copies, please feel free to do so.
For the time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. But that's the only person we had sign up for. Ms. Evans is the only one we had signed up for public comments. Is there anybody else that's walked in? Okay. Apparently not. Is there anybody else out there? Okay. Diane told me a while ago that we have some people here for discussion of the art wall under new business. Request instead of making them wait, since some of this may be lengthy with discussion of some pretty interesting issues here, that we go ahead and get that out of the way, if y'all don't mind. Mr. Pownell?
I move that we suspend the rules and move new business number 4 to the top of the list.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, if the rules are suspended, does it have to be roll call? Should be roll call.
Okay. All right. Very good. I like roll calls. Hey, Cindy. We got y'all up first of the list.
Okay. We'll get it started.
No, wait till we get. We got a roll call vote to do yet.
Arthur Raphael? Suspending the rules. Yes. Dean Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Lenny Balance?
Yes.
James DeVito?
Yes.
Butch Berry? Yes. Ken Pownell?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Miss Sandy, you ladies have the floor.
Thank you very much. I'm Sandy Martin, and I'm here representing the Mayor's Arts Council. We're a group that's going into our third year, and we are advocating for the arts and promoting the arts and trying to help promote tourism and the creative economy in Eureka Springs. And why we're here today is to ask your blessing on a project that was started and a real good idea by Charlotte Buchanan a couple years ago with the art wall. And we want to continue that project and continue the public art installations under some guidelines that the Arts Council will work on. We want to do everything in writing and everything run by the city attorney before we do anything. And our goal is to complete that and have that up and running sometime between November and May Fine Arts. And I have a little bit of a blurb, if I may hand that out.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody has this.
They do? Oh,
Yes, they do.
excellent. Okay.
See?
Well,
Yeah, we take care of
should
business.
save me copies.
Everybody does have one of these from these articles. Okay,
Great.
it was in your box. Diane took care of
And
that.
we're here to ask your blessing to pursue that project. And our ultimate goal is to be able to do a couple of more public art installations. The next one would be down on what I believe was called the North Main Park, on the North Main 23 North entrance to town, so that we can eventually have all entrances to the town represent our artistic community. So that's why we're here, and we will organize a committee that will work on the art wall project. We're calling it right now the Eureka Springs Art Park. Jerry Stevens has stepped forward as volunteer to help chair that and work with the Arts Council on that. So we hope you all will approve it and feel like we will do it in the best interest of the city, community, and the artist as well.
Question? Mr. Vina?
Question for the attorney.
Yes, sir.
We had a contract last time on the art wall. How was that set up? I can't remember. It's
There was a contract.
2 to 3 years ago, yeah.
There was a contract between the organization that Ms. Buchanan represented and the city as to regard to how that was going to be run. One could be drafted again. There was also, I believe, contracts between that entity and the various artists. And I would strongly encourage that there should be those so that there's no dispute on that type of issue. But this being ran more in-house through the Mayor's Art Council, I defer to the wisdom of the council whether they want a contract or not, but it's more in-house, so it's less of a problem, I think, than with dealing with an outside entity, complete outside entity. But if you want a contract, certainly one can be created between the Art Council or its entity. I think it actually in the letter there addresses that it'll be ran under a 50C corporation, and if it would actually, the contract would go to that rather than the Arts Council probably. But I would suggest if you're interested in a contract that copies of the old contract be distributed among the council members so that they can become familiar with the terms, because I know several of the members weren't on the council at that time. And then if suggestions are to be made as to how changes might be needed, then that could be addressed. But a lot of the contract, as I look at it, also meets several of the points that the Arts Council has proposed in the letter I was given. And I think you now have in front of you.
I'd like to move to ask the city attorney to start negotiations with the Eureka Springs Art Council to develop an agreement.
Second?
Second.
Made and seconded. Any further discussion? Mr. Pano?
Where are we, alluding to what the city attorney just said, and based on the handout, why are we wanting a contract that's operating with an organization that's operating under the mayor's office, basically? Unless there's something about the Mayor's Arts Council that I don't understand.
My
I mean, there
understanding
are three points here seem very clear that
if
it's
I'm not
well spelled
mistaken,
out the way they're going to be doing it.
isn't there not going to be a subcommittee under the Arts Committee that will contract with each artist for their own exhibits? So they may need for time of the exhibition. Mr. Baker?
If I remember correctly, also in addressing Mr. Pennell's question, the contract had to do with who was responsible for putting the art up, who was responsible for taking it down, how long it would stay up, type of rotation. It's stuff that the Arts Council would like to know about and would work with, in fact, or pass that basics contract on. They're talking about establishing rules and regs anyway, so I think all that can be, if I remember right, the contract was pretty loose. It basically made note that any damages to the wall, to stuff like that was done would be taken care of. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Winter,
One of the things we wanted to do some tight guidelines because we are under the city and need to be in the best interest of that and protect everybody from any legal ramifications. So the guidelines we would finish up. We've got them about 90% drafted that we're happy with, and we want to run them by the city attorney. And then the agreement, not necessarily a contract was our thinking, but maybe a memorandum of understanding with Jerry serving as the chair of that committee under the Arts Council, just so everything is in writing and everybody knows what's going on and everybody's protected. And it's all signed off and blessed by the city attorney before we do anything. That was kind of our thinking.
Yeah, I think that's what we had originally, and things like, I think there's some one-buys up there right now that, I don't know who paid for that and stuff like that, and if it came down, all the repairs. Stuff that you may be able to reuse, I don't know. But that's stuff that Jerry and you and the city attorney can probably all mesh together.
We'll need to
But that's the whole point. And I think there was also an issue at the time about liability in case something happened, that everybody would be protected too.
Exhibits, yeah.
So,
Any further?
Does the Arts Council have a budget?
Not per se. On the particular art wall, the CDP has agreed to serve as our umbrella 501c3, and the split between the artists and the council or the city, all the money that the Arts Council generates goes into the city coffer. That would be there to help sustain and make any repairs or improvements to the board. And the proposed split is 70% to the artist and 30% to the city. But it would be under the CDP auspices.
Any further? Jerry, you have anything to say? This is your chance. Then. Okay, if there's no further. Yeah, I guess there's no vote. We call for this one. It's just basically a discussion.
There was
Okay.
a motion and a second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Please repeat the motion.
To ask the city attorney to begin negotiations, draw up a contract, and Dr. Kirkpatrick seconded.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.